What's up, fellas? So following on from my previous video about dating apps, check it out if you haven't. I'm going to follow on with 3 tips for young men in order to improve your dating site profiles. Now, let's not waste any time, let's get straight into it. The first thing that I want you guys to think about is your fashion. Now, I want you to think about it from a girl's perspective. She spends time getting her hair done, her makeup, her clothes, her shoes, her style. Whenever you see a woman get ready, it takes hours and hours of her day to think about what she's going to wear for that night. Does she really want to match with somebody who's wearing jeans and battered trainers? Mate, if a woman spends that much time on her appearance, the least you can do is sharpen up yours. Now, I see a lot of young men make this mistake because perhaps we're not really inclined to think about what looks good. We're more inclined to think about what looks comfortable, what might be appropriate for a quick kickabout down the park. But mate, when I started doing this, I'll tell you that women appreciate it when a man takes care of his appearance, right? So instead of wearing t-shirts and jeans and trainers, get yourself some snaps where you're wearing blazers and jackets. Get yourself some snaps where you're wearing trousers, smart shoes, some chains and some watches. Mate, it'll make a whole load of difference because a woman who takes care of her appearance wants to make sure that you are doing the same thing too, okay? Right, step number 2, following on from the one that I spoke about previously, mate. You need to get yourself better photos. Now, mate, I fully understand because whenever I go out with the boys, obviously we're not stopping to take photos of what we're doing. Mate, we don't do that as boys, and I fully appreciate that. But what ends up happening is that as men, when we go to try and get on these platforms, we've only got about 15 photos of ourselves to choose from. How are we going to find 6 good photos out of 15, mate? It's probably going to be impossible. So this is what I want you to start doing. I want you to get yourself in the habit that when you go out, you dress smart. And when you dress smart, you get people to take photos of you. You don't wait and hope there's an opportunity that somebody might take a snap of you. I want you to get rid of the awkwardness that you feel about it. Literally hand somebody a camera and say, mate, can you take a photo of me? Can you take a photo of me sat here doing this? Can you take a photo of me stood here behind this background over here? Just get rid of your shyness, mate, because if you want to be successful on these platforms, you're going to need to have hundreds and hundreds of photos in order to get a good 6 out of them. So mate, do that and take away the shyness because I fully appreciate that boys aren't really doing this at the moment. Right, and then step number 3 is how you write your profile. Now, I come across a lot of profiles that men are trying too hard to be funny. Mate, you're not going to be there trying to make her laugh. Or she might respond to 1 or 2 messages if you see something remotely funny about your profile, but you're not there to be a clown. Mate, you're there to sell yourself. What makes you unique? There's every other guy is trying to write something stupid or something silly to get a little bit like a crumb of a conversation. But I want you to talk about what makes you tick. What do you do in your life that separates you from other people? What are your interests? What makes you someone that someone else would like to be with? This is what I want you to talk about. Now, I'm not saying write it in a way that's completely dead serious like a CV. Do throw some humor in there. But the primary point of your profile is that you are selling yourself to the person that you would like to match. Talk about yourself. Talk about what interests you. Talk about what makes you different. Mate, go ahead and talk about your achievements. If you've got a master's, you've got a PhD, write it. If you've achieved something in your life, just go ahead and say it. You're there to sell yourself. Don't worry about being humble. But don't go too far the other side where you're trying to be too funny either. Mate, these 3 tips I think are really, really important. If you adjust these, your results will start going up. It's an exponential process. You do need to put some trial and error in. You do need to put the effort in. But mate, if you do this, your results will start getting better. Okay? Now, I hope this video helped. As always, I know online dating is a very controversial topic. Any questions, let me know. Drop me a comment. Anything I can do to help, I will.